So in the introduction video, you learned what is Zentagle and what does that type of art look like. One thing that I love about art is that art can make you feel calm. When you're feeling worried or stressed, art can actually help you calm down and make you feel good. Just by looking at the colors that go onto the page, art can make you feel happy. Drawing lines and just focusing on the line that moves across the paper, that can calm you down. So here's how you're going to get started with your Zentagle assignment. You're going to use plain white paper, and you'll need something to make black lines. So you can use a pen to make your black Zentagle lines, a regular pen like that, or any type of black marker. I have one like this. You may have a Sharpie type marker, a Crayola marker to make your black lines, any type of marker that you have to make black lines. Okay, to get started with your Zentagle art, you're going to need a plain white piece of paper, and you're going to fold it in half. Okay, fold it in half this way. You're going to draw on this size paper. You're going to make 4 dots in the corner of your page. And then you're going to connect the dots with kind of like a curve. It doesn't need to be straight. You can put a curve in there. Okay, so now you've got a border on your page. You're going to divide the space in half, also with a little bit of a curve, a vertical line. Then you're going to divide it in half again, a horizontal line, and put a curve in there somewhere. And remember, you're using your black marker, not a pencil. Or maybe you have a black pen, any size marker, thin. It's a black marker, not a pencil today. Okay, the first pattern, or tangle, Zentagle patterns are called tangles. And these tangles also have names. The first one that we're going to create is called Crescent Moon. The Crescent Moon tangle. And you're going to put it in one of these 4 spots on your paper. Pick any spot. This is the Crescent Moon tangle pattern. So you're going to put a half moon shape there, a half moon shape there, and then on this side put a half moon there, put one here, so 2, 1, 2, 1. Now don't draw small. Okay, so next thing you're going to do is put a line next to it following that curve, and then stop, start a new line on this one, stop, start a new line on this one, stop. So you're going to each one and you're putting a line next to it that follows the first half moon shape. Okay, remember, Zentagle is about doing one line at a time. Just relax and think about that one line. Don't get ahead of yourself. Don't worry if it touches another spot. Just keep going. Here I ran out of room, so I'm just going to start next to it and go there. Okay, just one line at a time. Don't get ahead of yourself. You're only thinking of that one line at a time. And you're going to keep going to each spot. And as you run out of room, you're just going to fill in whatever space is left. And I think I'll just put one more there. You can stop whenever you like. Okay, then you're going to fill in the first half moon shape. You're going to fill that in with black. Okay, now if you started with a pen, for example, you can fill it in with a crayon or something else because it takes a lot of lines to fill in with a pen. You decide what you think. I'm going to start filling in with this pen. It might not be so bad. I could fill it in like this, probably. I'm going to have to go back another layer to make sure it's filled in really good. But that's what it looks like if I was using a pen. So this is also part of the technique to calm you down, relax your body. You're just looking at this space. Don't look ahead, don't think about anything else, and you're just filling that in. So that worked out pretty good with my pen. I'm going to continue with this one. Remember, we're going to fill in the first crescent moon shape that we did with solid black. If you did want to try filling in space with a crayon, let's see how it would look. Not too bad, because that's a big space, but the crayon can't do the small spaces that some of these other patterns might have. The crayon doesn't do good for these small lines, but you might be able to fill in some of the big spaces. Okay, so remember, part of your grade each week is your craftsmanship. Are you taking the time to make your lines nice and neat and tidy and filling up your spaces completely? No scribble marks. So this style is mostly black and white, and then I'll show you an option for color later. So that's one tangle that's done. That's called the crescent moon tangle. The next tangle we're going to do is called tipple. Okay, tipple is lots of circles in different sizes. So you're going to start doing small, medium, large. But each time you do a circle, it has to touch the one next to it. So that one, there was a space. You got to fill in that space with another circle. Then keep going again, small, medium, large. You're going to start making a line of circles across the middle of this space here. Small, medium, large. Each circle has to touch one next to it. See how I can fit different sizes? Right here I'll fit a big one, and then I'll put some medium ones right here. So keep going, filling up with the tipple pattern. Okay, the next Zentagle pattern we're going to do is called Holly Ba. Holly Ba. Now, if you want to use a ruler, you can, but it's really not necessary. Holly Ba starts out with two straight lines. Don't worry if they're a little bit crooked. Two straight lines going parallel, right? That means they go side by side. They don't touch, but they stay side by side. That's parallel. So you start out with two like that. That's your main shape. Then you're going to fill in more lines, but when you get to that first one, you got to stop, jump over it, and continue that path where it would land. Okay, and then pick one other spot, maybe going up like this. But as soon as I touch something, I have to jump over and continue where it would go on the other side. Okay, so fill in a couple of these shapes across the page. Stop there, never cross over, hop, stop again, hop over. I think it would land about like that. Okay, you decide how many you want to put in there. I think I'll put one more over here, like this. Now, in a couple of these spaces, put some patterns with dots. That one, I'm going to have a dot there. This one, your dot can be white, so I'm going to make a circle, but fill in around it and leave the circle white. This dot's going to be white, that one will be black. This one will be white. That one will be black. Fill in some white and some black. Okay, and then in the spaces in between, like right here, I'm going to fill this in black. You can decide if you want to fill in some places with black. And then keep going. You can leave some of these parallel lines blank. Just put a couple dots here and there and fill in a few places. Now this made a big black spot, so I don't recommend putting black next to black. Leave it black, white, black, white. But see, some things happen not as you expect when you're making art. That's okay, just let it be and keep going. All right, so that tangle is called Hollybaw. The last tangle we're gonna put here is called Bales. Bales. Bales starts out with a grid. Okay, so vertical lines. 1, see how many I can fit. 2, 3, 4. Don't draw too small, okay? You don't want your patterns to get too tiny. So I've got vertical lines, and I'm going to put horizontal lines to make a grid. I'm going to stop there because I don't want my pattern to get too small. Okay, now in all these horizontal lines, you're going to make curves like a rainbow from this point to this point. Stop. This point to this point. Stop. You're going to do these curves. Make sure you go up enough, like rainbow curves, on the horizontal line. Curve up, down, from point to point. Now you're going to go under where this was and make a curve like a smile line, like a U, under, point to point, and stop, point to point, and stop. Okay, keep going. One line at a time. Don't get ahead of yourself. All right, now we're going to look at the vertical lines. You're going to do the same thing, curve this way like a letter C, this point to this point like a letter C, like a letter C. Okay, and then the opposite of that, curve it like a capital B. Okay, so I'm going to continue looking at these vertical lines. Curve like a letter B, like Bales. That's the name of this tangle, Bales. Then the vertical line again, it goes this way like a C, point to point. A C, this point to that point. A C, then the letter B, the opposite way. All right, check it out. Bales, tipple. I'm going to go along and finish filling up this tipple spot. Hollybaw and crescent moon. You just did 4 Zentagle patterns. Now, I encourage you to do another page. A plain white piece of paper, fold it in half. Okay, and you can do another pattern. You can come up with your own patterns on this second one. For the first one, I want you to try the ones that I assigned you. On the second one, you can come up with your own patterns. I'm going to give you some idea sheets that you can download and print from home on this lesson module, and you can take this idea from what you see here and make some of your own tangles. All right, this could be your inspiration. But remember, Zentagle is about focusing one line at a time, relaxing, and just looking at the marker move across the page. You're repeating shapes and lines. Anyone can do it. One line at a time. Okay, the last step for your Zentagle pattern is making sure you have filled in some spots with black. I'm going to add some black circles here. Some will be black. Okay, you're going to be graded on adding black to some of your patterns. Did you fill up all 4 spaces following the pattern I taught you? Are your lines looking neat with craftsmanship? Some of these patterns have to be filled with black, some of the shapes and patterns. Now, okay, don't put too much black next to each other like I did here, because then the shapes and the patterns disappear. So make sure you leave spaces with black, white, black, white. If you want to add color, you can use crayon. It's the same thing. You have to leave some parts white and some parts color. So here I skipped this side, left, right, left. Leave some white and some color. Okay, that's optional if you want to use color. Maybe you have colored pencils. That would be good to add color also. So here in Holly Bob pattern, I'm going to use blue in some areas, leave some white. I think I'll put blue in this area. All right, Eisenhower artists, I'm really excited to see what your Zentagle pattern looks like, and have fun with it and relax, one line at a time. Another way that artists like to use Zentagle patterns is to fill in a shape with different Zentagle patterns, like the shape of an animal, and see how each area of the owl has a different Zentagle pattern. So I'm going to put these idea pages on your lesson as an option. If you want to download these pages and print them at home, you can try putting patterns inside animal shapes.